Hello guys, and welcome to today's video. And today I'm going to be discussing how Call of Duty needs a huge refresh. And some of you are going to be asking and wondering, what do I mean by that? What do I mean a huge refresh? Does that mean the gameplay? Does that mean the issues with the game? No, I'm going to be discussing something I don't think many people talk about, and it's something that we do see every single year, and it's a constant cycle between the two, which is the MW, that is Modern Warfare series, and the Black Ops series being released every single year. Every year now it seems to either be MW4 or MW6 or Black Ops 12 or Black Ops 50. We just get a new Modern Warfare game and a new Black Ops game every year. And I want to discuss that and say how Call of Duty needs to change. It doesn't just need to change the title of these games, it needs to change in massive ways. Because right now, every year is the same looking game, right? We do see the same things, and it's not just the actual quality of the games and the way they look than that. Like, if you remove the HUD screens from Modern Warfare and Black Ops games, they look like the same game, the same style, the same artwork. They look the same. They do sometimes feel different, which I will give them that, but it's very minuscule differences, right? One game you might be able to slide cancel better in the other game. One game you might be able to run faster. They're very minuscule things, right? It doesn't change dramatically. Call of Duty is the same game every year pretty much at this point. And this was a complaint from years ago that actually used to get used for games like Black Ops 2. It used to be said that it was too much like Black Ops 1. And we've now come full circle, and Call of Duty is doing it very on purpose and very abruptly, because let's be honest, every season, right, we'll start with actual content of the game, right? I'm not going to talk about the campaigns and that yet, because obviously that's going to be a topic with this as well. Because people will say, well, you can't just end the Modern Warfare series now because there's at this point in the campaign, and you can't end the Black Ops series now because at this point in the campaign as well. Obviously, they go back and forth. They go between doing the future and the past and the modern day for all these series to say that Woods is still alive or Woods is not alive and this, that, and the other. They do all these crazy things to make the campaign story work, right? But they could just end at any point, right? The campaigns can just end. They can do a good storyline and just finish the series. I think Black Ops and Modern Warfare is overdone. I think we want to see something different. It's not exciting anymore, you know? I think it was initially when people were like, oh my god, when Modern Warfare was the title name back in 2019, everyone's like, wow, they're bringing back Modern Warfare. But now it's just copy and paste, right? Every year it's Modern Warfare 4. Oh, it's Modern Warfare 5. And then the next Black Ops game. Oh, it's Black Ops 6. Now we're moving on to Black Ops 7. That's not exciting. That's not exciting to me. I want to have a new name. A new name would change everything. I feel like people would genuinely be interested if the game was just named something completely different just to start with. And obviously, changing the name doesn't change everything, right? You can change the name but still make the game look like Black Ops. You can still change the name and make the game look like Modern Warfare. So what needs to change actually? Things like actual gameplay elements, you know, Call of Duty needs to change. And I don't know if this is mainly, I think the one reason we haven't fully evolved, fully changed from Call of Duty in its roots, the same style of gameplay, the same movement, the same aim assist, the same way the slide cancel, the reason we haven't changed from this, I do genuinely believe, is because of the older consoles. But there is something that Activision can decide on. They can decide whether or not to sell the game on the older gen consoles. And because those older gen consoles do have, get obviously a version of the game that runs on their system, it is limiting Call of Duty and what it can do. I think Call of Duty is not fully evolving because of this. And rumor is that Black Ops 7 is going to be the last Call of Duty that has PlayStation 4 and Xbox One available, as one of the platforms to play the game on. But after that, those consoles won't be able to play the next Call of Duty after that. Which I'm hoping is the case, because I do think, and I'm not giving them an excuse, again, Activision could have chose this year. They could have decided this year was the year to change this and move on and maybe evolve Call of Duty into something different. We can't have the best textures. We can't have all the best new features because these older consoles can't run them. And again, I'm not giving Activision the excuse, right? They have the decision here. It's not the case of, if they can't do this, then they can't do that. They have the choice to evolve Call of Duty and make it better. And they decide not to because, obviously, greed. They want as many people as possible to be able to play and have access to Call of Duty. But if they want it to evolve, if they want it to change, if they want to refresh and actually change Call of Duty for the better, those consoles have got to go. They've got to go out of the rotation to be able to play Call of Duty. But not only that, the actual content we see in the games. What happens every year now is we get a battle pass, right? We get a new season. And what happens with that battle pass is we see the same things. We see the same content dropping as well. We get new maps, but they claim them as new maps, right? But what do we get every year? Now, I don't mind with Black Ops getting Nuketown, right? That's a staple of Black Ops games, right? But if we were to move on to a new version of a Call of Duty game that isn't called Modern Warfare, that isn't called Black Ops, We can't be seeing Nuketown every year. We can't be seeing Rust coming back. We can't be seeing Raid every year. People wanting firing range. We can't see these things over and over because at the end of the day, we're paying for a new game and we're not getting new things. We're getting the Graw. We're getting the M60. You know, I know these are obviously real life weapons that are going to limit how, you know, they get to like add weapons again. But there are so many weapons that have never been added to a Call of Duty game that they could have done by now. But because obviously there are fan favorites like an M16, an M4, you know, things that are classics that people hold on to dearly, like a Deagle, for instance. People remember and, you know, enjoy these weapons. I get that. Like on the screen right now, you're seeing an LC-10. Why is that famous? Because everyone loved it from Black Ops Cold War, I believe. You know, these weapons, it's lazy development. We are getting the same things every single year. It doesn't make Call of Duty feel different. And I think that's half the problem with Call of Duty at the moment. It isn't just the issues with Call of Duty, right? Those are the big issues, right? The things like the cheating, the lag, the SBMM, they are all things that massively affect the gameplay, absolutely, and are probably the biggest, you know, changes and biggest issues with Call of Duty nowadays. But I do think seeing the same stuff every year, the same maps, the same guns, the same names, the same everything, does ruin Call of Duty a bit. Like, it doesn't spike the interest. It's not new. Like, let's take Splitgate, for instance. Splitgate's come out with a battle royale now, and why are people playing it? Because it's new, because it's different. It's a battle royale in a game that, you know, is a little bit different. It's a little bit different movement. That's what people want. People want different. People want to buy a new game every year. And when I say new, they want actually new, not the same weapons, not the same maps, not the same, just nothing is new really in a Call of Duty game. You know, let's be honest. We get to that point where the Call of Duty games haven't evolved. They don't add new things. They add new things here and there, but it's mainly predominantly taken up by with the old things, right? When we get a season trailer, people, you know, watch the trailer and they're like, oh, wow, that's a brand new map. It's on some farm or something, you know, it looks different. And then the big part is a big, like, cut and it goes to Nuketown is being added or Raid is being added back to the game. And then everyone goes nuts for it. But then they realize it gets very boring very quickly because we're playing the same thing. We're using the same things. We're just doing the same thing every single year. And Call of Duty needs to change. And I think the problem is as well is that Activision's afraid of change, just because if they do change and they get it wrong, it's going to be very wrong. You know, it could affect Call of Duty massively, right? But surely as a developer, you should be brave. You should want to evolve. You can't live off of the same name, the same game for years on end, because eventually people won't join Call of Duty. People won't pick up and play Call of Duty because it's not new, it's not fun, and it won't be exciting. Call of Duty needs to evolve. But at the same time, I ask the question to you guys, do you think Call of Duty can actually evolve in the right direction? Would you trust these devs to actually be able to take Call of Duty into a better direction without using the old maps, without using the old weapons that we've used to have, without using the Black Ops name to gain, you know, easy traction, using the Modern Warfare name, using the characters in the campaign to, you know, get the traction going? Do you think Call of Duty can actually do it? Like, they could actually fully evolve? Or do you think we're stuck with the same thing over again? I mean, look at Call of Duty Warzone, right? It's just ever evolving. Yes, we get a new big map and stuff like that, but what happened there? We went back to Verdansk. You know, they made new maps. People didn't like them. Some of them, you know, it was 50-50 opinions. I've seen some people like some of the maps, some people not like some of the maps. But we ended up going back to Verdansk, you know, and people enjoyed it, but I feel like that's wearing off very quickly. And people realize that, yes, it's cool, it's nostalgic, but eventually it's boring. It isn't that interesting, you know? How many times can we play on Nuketown before Nuketown becomes boring, you know? So I want you guys to let me know down in the comments down below. Do you think Call of Duty needs a huge refresh? Does it need to stop using the Modern Warfare name, the Black Ops name, and not only just the names, but actually changing the entire landscape of Call of Duty? Does it need to change the weapons, the maps? It needs to actually fully evolve. Even the gameplay itself. Doesn't matter whether we get a slide mechanic or a diving mechanic. I want to see something completely new with Call of Duty. I want to see Call of Duty do better. But you guys let me know down below what you think. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe notifications on. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.